Hey everybody, we're live. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hi, we've already got a couple people in the chat. Hey Gary and Doug, thanks for joining. Gary, Doug's already been giving me a hard time that we needed to move live. We were just chit-chatting. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining for a weekend edition of Beyond Quests. I've got 3 guests tonight. Welcome Rachel, Aoife, and Alex. Thanks for joining.
Hello,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. This is the team along with Robin Weidman and Marissa Parnas that brought us the Battle Bards series. So yeah, super excited to talk to you guys today. I downed Battle Bard in like a week. I listened to it. So Alex, I got to hear your voice quite a bit.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's definitely, I just want to say, one of the most like end-to-end like put together lit RPGs I've read in the last year or so. Yeah, gold star for that. So
thank you. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Which I honestly, in like some respects, is wild to me, considering like 3 of you like co-authored it. 3 of you co-authored it, and you know you've got 2 narrators doing the duet, and it's like, how did you get like 3 authors and 2 narrators to come together to just have such a good picture of a novel? So we're gonna get into it because yeah, I'm in awe of you guys. So yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks.
well, I want to give, not everybody has read Battle Bards. I want to give them a little context of the book itself. So it's a cultivation isekai novel that centers around Max Stone, and it was Chantal, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chantal Walters. The 2 characters are hanging out at the beach on our world, and they end up drowning in a riptide and get isekai'd. There's maybe a poker game among the gods, and they both end up in the same world in this very magical cultivation world. It's got a duet narration between Alex and Marissa, and yeah, it's cool. And we'll talk about the mechanics of it. But anything else that any of you want to add on about the description of the book? Sorry, I didn't prep you for that question.
I think you did a great job. I'm not very good at being concise. I think I've got like Shanachie, like storyteller blood in me, Irish storyteller blood. So I go off on big long tangents. So I love when somebody else gives a nice concise view of what our book is about.
That's fair. You know, the blurb is the hardest part, in my opinion. It's right? Yeah. 100%. Well, this book was published under Robin Weidman and Cooper Y. You can see it on the cover there at the top. And Cooper Y being a mashup of both of your last names. But my question is, if we spot you at one of the cons, how would you like your fans to address you? So yeah. Your adoring fans. I mean, you guys, should we just be like, hey, Cooper Y, and you'll both turn around, or
probably. But yeah, Rachel A. Cooper or Rachel is fine. Just say hey.
Yeah.
I demand to be called Doctor. Or
Doctor. Superman.
Yeah. Superman would be totally okay.
Yeah.
You can just call me Aoife. Rhymes with like FIFA, the football. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. All right. So for the Americans in the crowd, that's Aoife. Just have a small seizure when you see the name.
Sounds nothing like it's spelled. Irish, Oscoilga.
Yeah.
So there's.
Love it.
It's one of many names. Yes. That's there.
Yes.
Thank you for not putting a tremendous amount of Gaelic names in your books, because as a narrator, it is a bit of a nightmare. We have little mini heart attacks, and then we go, wait, we have the internet, we can look up all these and we find them, but like I go, I don't know.
So you mean in our next book we should have a lot of Irish?
That's what I'm thinking. I think you need to torture the narrators.
Mess with people, yeah. We go with it.
Yeah. I think you should totally put all the Irish names in there and just watch and live narration. Just watch you guys.
Surnames as well in Irish as well. There's some long ones.
Yeah. Well, let's dig into the story. We're going to talk story first, and then we're going to talk about how the magic is made. But I thought you guys did a great job of walking. So, I mean, this is a cultivation novel, and for those of you in the audience that aren't familiar with cultivation, it's kind of an Eastern. I don't know if I have it and made it explain cultivation this morning, but basically, people accrue magic through like, I don't know. Do one of you guys have a good explanation
I mean,
of
it's
cultivation?
like
I'm like,
in the video game parlance, right? It's
Yeah.
leveling up, right? In that you collect points, or in this case, it's levels of magic, and then better yourself and better equipment and better skills. That's how I always understood it.
yeah. Well, and I mean, go ahead. Sorry, somebody.
No, I was just going to say, like, it's to me, it's kind of like, it as regards cultivation, like, so Eastern, it's, versus Western. Some of the core elements are still the same in that you're kind of gathering energy into like a kind of a core to help you grow stronger.
Yeah.
And how that looks like, well, like, so ours is a bit of a mix. It's like ours is kind of based on kind of the cultivation stages, like body cleansing, energy storage, core formation, and nascent soul. So they're just your levels of power going up. So, and then you can tack on, like, if you want to quantify it with kind of lit RPG elements, which we've done lightly, as in just levels and skills, not like attributes. We're not doing, experience points or assigning to like intelligence or stamina or anything like that. It's not that level of crunchy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit more creamy on the lit RPG crunchy scale, right? Yeah.
A little bit smaller spreadsheets.
Yes. Which, yeah, the spreadsheets can get out of hand, but this one isn't. This is not a super crunchy lit RPG. It's cultivation, and I think you balance the narrative well between like the system and I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about cultivation is you get more narrative and less spreadsheets to some extent, but you still have those elements that you look for in lit RPG with, the progression and the definitive progression and definitive like skills and things that people use. How did you guys, is that why you picked cultivation as kind of your system, or is one of you like a super cultivation, like super fan, or how did you go about that?
Well, originally it's like, I think this started a good couple of years ago. Originally, like, maybe this is why it's ended up, I suppose, polished over time. I think it was around 2021. It was Robin's idea. It's his baby. And he is a spreadsheet guy. He loves his spreadsheets. So he had a system in mind. And like that, it would have been kind of inspired by, traditional cultivation systems. And so, yes, I started out, my kind of journey into lit RPG was through cultivation.
Yeah.
So I'd watched a lot of, like, my husband's from Hong Kong, so I'd basically been steeped in a lot of like 70s and 80s and even 90s, wuxia and sanxia movies, and so I had a lot of love for it. So I was like, wow, there's actually books as well, like, so it was basically, as I say, it was Robin's kind of ideas and his story, and then we were brought in on it. So
Okay. Yeah, so what that means is that Jordan Kahn, I need to pin Robin down and talk to him about Battle Bard. As well. Well, Doug's got a question. He said that it sounds very much like kind of standard cultivation. Was there a thought to step away from standard cultivation, or what might have, like, were there any tweaks that you purposely made to a standard cultivation sort of system in this book?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, we tried to stay kind of true to some of the Western style cultivation. So we had, like Aoife had mentioned, kind of based it off of the Eastern style for the setup in terms of the leveling. And then it was like, for us, it was important to choose like whatever mechanics that we wanted to put in, we wanted it to relate to the character's perspective as those changed, as well as their abilities that they gained. So whenever they have a breakthrough, we wanted to be sure and make sure that they kind of reacted to what was going on. What can they do now to what they couldn't do beforehand? And you do get that across some of the other cultivation novels and also lit RPGs. So we just want to make sure that came across.
Yeah. And this is actually, I've got some friends that are interested in lit RPG, and I've kind of shied away from suggesting cultivation books because it's like a whole nother layer of like, this is different than like a fantasy novel. But this is one that I would suggest as like an intro cultivation. It's got that progress. You guys do a great job of like explaining it to the main characters and thus your reader, right? You've got a nice little explanation of cultivation. You just don't like dive in and assume that the reader knows it all already. So
yeah, we definitely try not to overwhelm the reader.
Yeah. Sometimes you get into some of these books and it's just like, man, if you're not a lit RPG fan or you don't know what cultivation is, it's just like whap, like right there. Unsolicited crunch. That's I'm gonna trademark that. we're gonna get some ribbons. Yeah.
That could be a book title too. So
Yeah.
Yes. The Robins of the world need to write that book because we need a spreadsheet.
Hopefully he'll watch it back. I think he's going to be traveling for a while, so he might be traveling at the moment, but we'll say it to him to watch.
So Robin, we need unsolicited crunch as one of your next books. Yeah. All right. Well, let's. So Battle Bard. It was interesting as I was reading the book because I'll be honest, I did kind of like, I'm like, well, where's the bard part for the first, bit? Because you've got like the, how do they get isekai'd and new to the world, and it takes the main character. It takes Max a while before he gets his class or discovers what inspires him. But talk about why Battle Bard. And there's also this moment, I want Alex to talk about it, where you actually like there's some drumming that goes on in the actual narration, which is really cool because we just don't hear that, you get bardic lit RPGs, but you don't actually have somebody kind of singing or putting music in on it. So let's talk about why bards first, and then we'll talk about how bards and what that looks like as the series continues. Yeah.
So the why bard, I think again, Robin, I remember us having a conversation probably in the early days about like he's into music, and I think he'd seen a performance that really inspired him as well, like a drum performance that really inspired him. Rachel, have you?
Yeah.
That I'm.
And I mean, like, and if like you think about battle, you always, in my mind, I think about drums, like the marching out. So it's kind of gets a little more primal, I guess, to kind of set the pace.
The drumsticks too. You guys have. It's not like in some respects he's a support character, like you expect from a bard.
Yes.
There's some support characteristics there, but then the drumsticks also as weapons. It's not a bad. You're not going to bash somebody with a saxophone, but those drumsticks are pretty solid. So
they're kind of inspired. I felt kind of somewhat in my comfort zone a little bit with that because my husband did eskrima, so I just thought of them as like Kali sticks, and that was
you could do some damage. Love it. Well, and Alex, how did you approach it from a narrator perspective?
Well, so firstly, I'm a musician. Both Marissa and I are singers. And so when he said Battle Bard, I got so excited because I was like, oh man, we're going to get to put some music in here, we hope. I've done it before here and there, and it's like the listeners really tend to like it. It's so much fun for us if we have time. So then as we started reading through it, I went, oh, drums. It's like, oh, okay. And I thought, okay, that's still pretty cool. And I had the same exact thoughts that you all just sort of confirmed, was like war drums. That's what I thought first. And so I was like, well, I think there's probably at least one good part to do that in the first book, and there was. We did it, and the challenge is always making sure it doesn't detract from the narration and it's a sort of a fine line. And I thought drums will be good. I put a little bit of like reverb, something like that. And then we've recorded book 2. And in book 2, we took a little, I can't say license. There's a really great battle scene where I believe it's Chantel who is a singer. I can't remember now. One of the characters unlocks their bardic ability, and it's singing. And so I said, okay, I think this is appropriate. This real badass battle scene where she's like leading the charge. So I wrote some sort of background music that is very like hard and driving and it's vocal, and it's all, I did like 4 or 5 part harmonies or something like that. And Marissa was like, are we sure it's just one person singing? I was like, but it's magic, and therefore it fills the battlefield. And it came out really, really, really good, I think. So I'm excited for people to hear that if they haven't already. Any opportunity we get to put music in there, I jump at it, because we don't always have a lot of time. But if we do, and I can sort of get something together quickly enough, it is always a joy and fun. There have been a few times where it's like, nope, I can't get it. It's not good. If I had another 2 days, maybe. We don't. Sorry, we just gotta move past it, I think.
Yeah. You said that you are a musician. Is that like, are you a musician by trade? Is that like a passion for you?
Yes. So I'm an actor by trade. I've been acting since I was like 13. And I'm 42 now, so that's a long time. I started narrating about 6 years ago, and that became that's my full-time
That's
job.
Your bread and butter. Yeah.
Yeah, very much. I tried to be a musician years ago. I was in a band or 2, and after a while I was like, I really don't like playing gigs, I found out. And so I play music all the time, and I record music and make, albums and things like that, but I have no desire to really go out and play. That's just not where I'm at. So while, I am a musician, I have made money off of it, like I've done it for work, but it's not, I consider it much more a passion, as you said, than a trade. Yeah. But as a singer,
as you were talking about like 4-part harmonies and adding reverb and like the drum, like you could see the rest of us were really uncomfortable. We're like, that's amazing. I cannot imagine doing it.
There's a thing, I'm not sure what it is, but there is a thing about music that people who are not musicians or not trained look at it like it's like you're a wizard. And it's a little bit weird sometimes, because you're like, right, okay. It seems sort of second nature sometimes, but it's not. Like, it's just comes from practice and learning. And like, I have 2 albums that I made with a buddy of mine, and we just sort of mess around, and you figure out how to put different effects on and where to do it and how to mix it and all these things. And it just sort of, you do anything enough, you get better at it, right? So I've been doing it for a while, and I like doing it. So I'm okay at it. I don't say I'm good at it, but I'm okay at it.
Yeah, it worked really well in book 1. I haven't listened to book 2 yet, but it was nice because it wasn't like a ton of it. Like you said, it wasn't overwhelming the narrative, but it was just this like nice little spice that you added in that was like, that's okay. I'm here for this. Now my spouse, who was sleeping at the time, was maybe a little startled. But hey, we're gonna have to talk about collaborative writing and make Alex uncomfortable here. The magic that goes along with that. But yeah, no, I love that you put the music in there. And in book 2, it seems like Chantel, like you just looking at the cover, you can tell that there's a loot. There's more music coming in book 2. Is that something that you're going to continue, that those bardic powers, obviously it's called Battle Bard, are going to increase? Is there going to be more instruments, more layering of melodies? What's the plan for the series?
so beyond book 2, so we're only kind of just been talking with Robin there recently about book 3, so it will be a trilogy.
Okay.
As right now, unless
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But
I
so
don't know. This is the moment it takes off, you guys. You're gonna have 12-book arc.
Well, there is kind of like I think it kind of leads into also why it took so long for him on his journey to being a bard, because I know that there is a bigger picture that we will see in book 3, like characters and the gods and all of that. It'll come full circle, if you know what I mean, as you know, not to give too much away, like you mightn't see as much of it in book 2, but so why was it in book 1? Kind of find out in book 3.
Yeah, book 1 definitely has that like setup, right? Like the monster, density is increasing. You don't really know why. There's all these little like nuggets of like, like what's actually happening here, right? Why did they both get isekai'd to this world?
Yes,
and there's some tension there for a while where you're like, can they just like meet? Can you guys just can they meet? Can they know that each other are here? Yeah. So you hold that tension well. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the stakes in the book. There's a notable death in book 1. I'm not going to give away who, but I mean, lit RPG, it's all about like battle and killing monsters and stuff, but we don't kill people too often. Did you plan on killing that character the whole time? And I guess that's my first question.
We were laughing about this because Robin did, so it was predestined.
Blame him. He's not here.
All right, so send the hate mail to Robin. That's the...
We had to pick up the pieces. We had to bring the emotional punch.
Well, I mean, the two characters get isekai'd into the world, but it does seem like death is death for them. Like they have to tread a little bit carefully because they don't, from their perspective, they don't feel like they've got like a third life out there waiting for them. How do you, as authors, approach the problem of we're in a lit RPG, you're fighting for your life all the time against these monsters that are popping up, but like, how do you keep that death is death kind of stakes real for the character, for your readers? How do you think about that problem? Yeah.
So, I mean, I think like in all of our series, like I'm always trying to kill one of our characters so that Eve was like, no, we can't kill them. So.
Don't kill any animals. Yeah. That's what I'll say.
So it was Robin's fault. But Rachel was
And Rachel
cheering.
is a collaborator.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm behind the scenes going, I'd say that really we look at it too and like, will it help move the character and like push them to grow stronger and faster in the way that we want them to? Because even on this world, the reincarnation exists, but still you see that death is really loss. You've got the grief that they still experience. And so that kind of helps ground it in the reality and how we're all connected to these experiences too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So the hate mail goes to you on the series is that Robin's not involved in, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. So Aoife, you made a comment about like just not the pets. I guess is that something Rachel wants to do often? Do I need to put her on a list? No,
I don't think we'd be still working together now. Jesus, no. If it was animals all the time. No, it's just it's funny. Like when we were. When we first met and were writing, like I remember somebody who was kind of further on in their journey and was kind of like, just don't kill the dog. Whatever you do, don't kill the dog in the story. Do you know what I mean? And like anything, I think you kind of have to really know your craft. And I'm not saying I'm anyway near there, but if you want to break any tropes or subvert a trope or what have you, you really... You really kind of have to know your craft before you can do it. So yeah, but also I am quite an emotional writer. And so when that scene, I'm going to really try not to give anything away in a spoiler. But any death scenes that Rachel forced me to write, I'm joking. Any death scenes,
Rachel makes the decision, makes Aoife write it.
I draw from my own experiences. And sometimes it's not even just somebody who's physically died. It's the experience of loss or grief that I've experienced in the past, and I kind of like bring that into whatever scene I'm writing, and I'm in the head of those characters. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, and sometimes it takes a number of kind of go arounds. I am a bit of a pantser. We can end up with extra characters, especially when I was first writing. You could end up with, if this is supposed to be a scene, we've done our outline, and there's these characters supposed to be here, and all of a sudden somebody else comes in the door, and then somebody else does, and I said, how did they get there? They weren't supposed to be in the story. So, but when it comes to the emotional scenes, I just kind of draw from experiences, kind of in my life, or people I've known, or things like that, you know. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's helpful. I mean, it's hard. It is hard to read when authors do death and it's a trivial thing to the being, like it's just this trivial thing that it's like thrown out as a plot device and there's no emotional backing of it. That's when you're just kind of like because you're having all the emotion without that journey with the character. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that you put a little bit of you in there to help everybody along. We've got a question from Boslo.
Hey Boslo, how's it going?
So how much character reinvention took place while developing the story? That's a good question.
So it was a long time. I went from like 2022 all the way. It didn't get released till last year.
Yeah.
So I think initially it was just Chantel was very much a back character to start with, and then she became like it became dual POV. Mm-hmm. That's my kind of, but that was very early in the beginning. Rachel.
Yeah, I could see that because she. I mean, you just think she's like the hottie that he dies saving that first chapter, and then you're like, wait a second, Marissa's talking. Like, yeah. Anything to add there, Rachel?
No, I can't think of anything. I was trying to think through like any of the other characters. But I mean, eventually, like they all kind of get their own personality, and it just kind of sticks. So, and they kind of write themselves in there.
Yeah. Well, Alex, I'm going to shift to you, and then Thomas, we'll get to your question here. For the narrators, when you handle death scenes, do you get emotional? Are there retakes? How does that work from a narration perspective?
So sometimes we get emotional. That's what we want. There's so many, as you said, there's a lot of times when it's trivial, and a lot of times authors, some of the maybe less thoughtful ones, shall we say, will not necessarily write it into the dialogue that somebody or even just. They won't write it into the dialogue or the narration that this is taking a toll on these characters. And sometimes we have to go from, we just witnessed our best friend die, to continuing the narration. And it can be really jarring if there's not weight to it. So we have to sometimes kind of invent it. If it's, especially if it's like first person narration, the character is talking about what's happening now. Yeah, we have, sometimes we find that we have to sort of goose it a little bit, but when it's really good, like in Battle Bard, we thought, no, it felt, we always say at the end of one of those really deep emotional scenes, when we hit stop, we go, oh, that felt like acting, because it's such a joy when we get to really take moments and pauses and let the emotion come out. So when we do get emotional, those are usually the better takes. We do retakes, sort of. Essentially what we do is we'll hit stop delete something and then just keep going. We also, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have like this little guy. It's a little dog clicker.
A clicker. Yep.
So when we make a mistake, or if we need another take on something, we'll click and it'll show up really, really distinctly in our recording software.
Yeah.
So that's all the time. So retakes, it's constantly.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. As we know that narrators add that layer of emotion, and you can say a sentence and just like it can be sarcastic, it can be straight, like all of the layers that narration adds to what we do as writers. But like if the authors kind of left you hanging on a cliff emotionally, bringing that to whatever's next that's got to be a skill. Yeah. It's I didn't think about that.
I'm curious, Alex, do y'all do like cold reads or do you like kind of prep beforehand?
We do a little bit of prep. We don't do a lot of prep. So mostly that's born out of necessity. We have a lot of books on our schedule. We don't get to read them all beforehand. Most of them we don't. We will always do prep on every book so we can make it educated, not guesses. Why can't I think? Informed decisions on how the characters are going to sound. If they're all, say, of a particular race of creature or from a particular area, should they sound the same? All these sorts of things. But for the most part, I can't say it's cold because we'll know, okay, so-and-so dies in this scene. So we're sort of prepared for it, but we don't necessarily make notes in scripts and things like that. We have, but I find for me, I can't speak for Marissa, but I can say that for me, I prefer often when I get to sort of discover certain things as the reader does. It's not all the time. As a matter of fact, there's some things that we need to know beforehand. We have to. But there are times when it can be kind of exciting and lend itself to something that I wouldn't have thought of beforehand. So then if I'm taken really aback, we say, okay, well, we have the power to just go, let's stop, do it again, because now we know. But the act of discovery can be pretty powerful, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. You're discovering it with the main character. Like, oh, wow, I have a...
Things can get stale otherwise if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you're shooting a movie or something, things can be over rehearsed and overdone, and you want it to be natural and you want it to feel in the moment, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we've got a plethora of audience questions, so we're going to get to some of these. Thomas is asking, can you just write all your characters to have that amazing accent? Aoife, that's for you. We talked about early on, because Thomas joined us. I was like, we talked about torturing the narrators with having Irish names for all the characters in the next book.
Oh gosh. Yes. Yeah. I think actually in our first series we put a lot more Irish slang and stuff in there. That was a bit tricky.
Yeah.
I think we did have to do a kind of a spreadsheet for that.
For pronunciation guide.
But Rachel can pick up my slang and and I've got used to in writing as well. I've got used to putting in like Z's and everything and getting rid of extra letters and words and things like that, just the different spellings and what have you. So
I'm going to admit this, but you're not allowed to speak Irish at me, but I was learning Irish for a while with some friends, and I definitely snuck some Irish into my book because I was like, why not?
Fantastic. I can't wait to read it. That's coming out soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, March 13th. That's coming out this month. So
a couple of days before St. Patrick's Day, sure will be.
Yeah, there we go. Just here and there, like it's fun.
Yeah, well, I probably know more Irish than myself.
Duolingo is not the best place to learn Irish. I'm just putting that out there.
I mean, there's the Gaeltacht regions where they speak Irish, but like I'm born and reared in Dublin, so and did not get a great grounding in primary school. But I love the language. I wish I was actually better at it. And I love everything around it. And but it's more like that foil. There's a really funny Foil Arm and Hogs clip where they're kind of over in the UK and they're pretending like they can speak Irish, and it's like, call Will McGansey, which is basically just where's my jumper, It's like everybody in school kind of learned to say the couple of phrases, the couple of buckle. And the clip is hilarious. It's just it's so kind of like for people like myself that, we're not fluent Irish,
So one of my friends that got married last year, they had a wedding out in Sligo, and it was half of the ceremony was in Irish and half was in English, and it was just like so gorgeous and like it was inspiring. But unfortunately, my language skills outside of English are not great. So like, well, yeah. All right, so we got another question from Thomas. Can you give some insight into the collaborative? Well, we're gonna get into this a little bit more, but the collaborative writing process. What are the pros? What are the hardest parts? So that's a good segue because we were gonna pop over to talk about the collaborative process here and how you wrote a book with 3 people as authors. I mean, yeah. So give us some insight. Yeah.
So first we had to tackle like the time zone difference because he's over on the Pacific coast. And so in Aoife's in Ireland, I'm like mid, US. So that was one thing, like trying to find just a meeting time that we could actually converse coherently for the most part.
So it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, my time. What time is it?
It's
usually?
11 p.m. or midnight around there.
So. And about 9 or 10, is it? I don't know. So like I know we with working with Robin, so that he adds in the 3rd co-author, we definitely it's kind of set up different. It varies from series to like different projects. For Battle Bard, like he had the whole kind of concept of the story because it's set in one of his universes, and he'd already kind of had some of the outline and the spreadsheet set up with a couple of the opening chapters.
I imagine every collaborative group needs the spreadsheet person.
Yes.
It's like key.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then like we all kind of got on calls, chatted world building and everything like that to help develop it further. So how did you divide it up? Did you divide it up by like chapters or by characters or by arcs? Like how did you do that division of labor?
So it was basically once all of the kind of developmental stuff was done, and Robin had like certain things, like, so there's certain characters introduced. So a lot of the main characters, but then, and he'd have certain scenes, to play out, like the death scene and
the unnamed death scene that we're not going to talk about.
Yes. And certain kind of like, so like if you think about like the 5 milestones of a story, like he would have all of that kind of set out, and then he'd say to us, right, go and write those next couple of chapters, and then we'd have the shared document like a Google. So he does everything Google Sheets, Google Docs, so everything's shared. We all have links to it and comments on editing, all of that. So we can all go in and see what each other is doing, and then he might come in and go like, geez, what what did Aoife do again? Where's Aoife gone with the story?
That pantsing.
Yeah. So it's like,
who is this character?
One Aoife tangent, per however many of chapters we go. And then like say, like I'd add some of my flavor, which might be some of the weapons and things like that were inspired by some, like I'd read some, like Jin Young novels and things like that. So we've the bow, the J Bowstaff, we've the spade, the Earthshaker spade. So that was my little bit of flavor. And then Emo, the alchemist, that was me. So so there was the structure was there, and then myself and Rachel were given some free reign, and then he'd come back in and say yay or nay on certain things. And
like, how did Chantrell get her own group?
We would have probably gone very heavy metal, mosh pits and everything.
That sounds good. How about the hardest thing about I mean, it sounds like time zone obviously is a struggle with the three of you, but like what is something like creatively that was a little bit harder?
I don't know. That's tough. I think we kind of lucked out, and probably advice for any like potential co-authors or collaborations would be to try and like work on like a short story together, because then you can figure out how does the other person work? Is it gonna like mesh well? The flexibility. So I think that's kind of what we did, and we just found out that it meshed well.
Well, and Aoife and Rachel, you two have done multiple novels together, right? You've worked together for years, so that their partnership has kind of been established for a long time.
We're about 5 years now.
I think so.
Together.
Yeah. Do you if there's a conflict between the two of you, or you in your collaborative group, do you guys have a method for dealing with that conflict? Do like arm wrestling or a Mario Kart race or something? You're like, no, there's no conflict.
But there really is. I don't know. But like, there isn't. Like, we never usually what happens.
You guys are that marriage that everybody hates. You're like, we never fight. Like,
but it's probably going to be like, sorry, no drama. But there really isn't. Yeah. Usually, what happens is it's just maybe editing, or like I'll write some stuff and Rachel come in and edit it. And I think you kind of have to be like, I think this is another reason why we get on so well, is that nothing's too precious to go. If it doesn't work, Rachel's no problem, like saying, or like something I've realized a lot, and we're going in and editing season, and I said it to Rachel. I said, how many similes did I write? Like, I just seem to, it's like this, and it's like, and then I'm seeing like there's paragraphs, and I'm like, Rachel, just please be brutal, cut them. Do away with them, or and vice versa. Like, I'll go in and we edit each other's work.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you're not too precious with that, if you are co-authoring, I think that goes a long way. If one person is inflexible and sees only one vision for the story and the characters and how everything must go my way or the highway, you're never going to. Unless you start out and say, sorry, I'm the boss. You do what I say, and the other person's like, woohoo, fine. But you have to set the ground terms and manage expectations in the very beginning. And as Rachel said, doing a short story is a great way to do that, because if it doesn't work out, you can just say, cheery boy, that was great.
Small investment.
Have a great life.
Yeah. That's smart. I think that points to, and you didn't say this, but us as viewers can see kind of the maturity in your writing process. You're not like super personally invested. It's the creative process and collaboration as a whole that kind of takes the center stage, not like your individual ego in the story. Unless it's the dog or the So Alex, I'm going to flip this question over to you, because this is a duet narration, and you've already talked about the dog clicker. Bosla says that he'd be perma-clicking the dog clicker for mistakes, which is why that's why we're writers, Bosla. But talk to us how you approach the duet narration with Marissa.
Well, it's sort of, both of us got our start narrating together. Like most of our books period are duet narration with each other. So it even amongst narrators, it's kind of a niche thing. Not everybody does it. But firstly, my voice will almost never sound like a woman, and it will never sound like a child. So when I do books on my own, I don't necessarily try to make them sound like a woman or make them, little differences, but it's never, I'm not going to fool anybody. So we quickly realized that, like, that's a benefit right there. Her voice, Marissa's, is never going to really sound like a man or like a demon or, whatever. So those were very easy to spot benefits. And it also happened to be wonderful to work with your best friend in the world. Like, I mean, It's as simple as like it's a joy. We all the time, even when we're going through a book that's maybe a little difficult or arduous, and we don't want to work today, etc. We go, yeah, but it's still the best job we've ever had, ever. I'm at your apartment right now, hanging out. We work with our best friends, performing every day. We go, you're right. This is the best. What are we talking about? What do we have to complain?
So you actually narrate in the same space. That's awesome. Yeah.
So most people don't. We again, that's how we started. We have so right now I'm in my little booth in my apartment. In hers, we have a big 2-person booth that's like oh boy, it's like 6 feet, 6 by 6 by 3 or something like that. And we record whenever possible together. It's easier to edit that way. We get a better performance. Absolutely.
I was going to say about your engineer loves that. Yeah.
We are the engineer. So like we
You're like,
edit,
well done.
Right, so, yeah, you're right. We do. But there are definitely times when we can't record together. Our schedules might not mesh. We are both actors, and therefore we might both travel for different shows and be in different time zones again. And when that happens, we have to do them separately, and it takes a lot longer to punch in all the secondary narrator lines into the narration. So if we can avoid doing that and get a better performance, we'd rather do that. We've worked so long together now, and we work so well together that we can know if one of us has a note for the other, it's never going to sound like criticism. So amongst actors, it is like rule number 1: you never give another actor a note. That is not your job ever. We right at the front, we're like, all right, look, yes, we're both actors. We are, but again, best friends. We know that we're not trying to upset anybody or sort of look better than the other person. We want what's best for the story. So if there is a note, we've gotten to the point now where we know that they're probably right. That if they're giving me a note, they know how I work. I know how they work. And that was an astute note. Actually, this line should be read this way. The inflection should probably be on that word to make it relate to the sentence previous, that kind of thing. We go, yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's a joy. And like I say, we've known each other a long time and have gotten to work together now for 6 years together. It's wonderful.
That's pretty awesome and really unusual. A lot of duet narrations, people aren't co-located; they're doing it in their own booths, maybe even across the country or whatever. So, yeah, that's a cool story. We're gonna have to get we're gonna have to get some like legends of Marissa and Alex. Like, how did you guys like start doing this together? And the rest, maybe in the after credits. So, but
yeah.
For Rachel and Aoife, it is a choice to decide to go with a duet narration. I know a lot of people maybe aren't aware of this, but in a lot of respects, duets cost a little bit more. There's, or it's just a little bit harder to manage because you don't have 2 narrators working in the same space. You've got to hire 2 narrators that are willing to work with each other and all the rest of it. But like, what made you guys decide to go with this route?
So, I mean, with having just the dual POV, is very nice because you get to have both those characters kind of speak. We had Royal Guard Publishing showed interest in Battle Bard also, and we'd heard Alex and Marissa narrate some of Monster Tamer Academy by Matt Herman and Robin Wagner.
I'm reading this later this month. Yeah,
it was phenomenal too.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So Alex, you might have to come back on the show. So just
got it.
Yeah,
got it.
So it's always nice to be able to get that duet when you can.
Yeah. And
then the
music.
music.
To have both. Yeah. So we knew we were in for a treat, as so it was in great hands. Yeah.
Yep, that would make it pretty easy. Yeah. Well, okay, so we've got a few more questions. Audience, keep them coming. These are great. Let's see. All right. Thomas is asking how. So I guess this for you, Alex. Do you and Marissa ever have a moment where you're kind of arguing? Like, do you arm wrestle or play Mario Kart? Like, how do you resolve?
Similarly, we don't really argue. We'll argue about shit like, stuff like, well, we ordered pizza yesterday. Come on, Yeah. But in terms of when we're working together, it is very, very rare that we argue about anything. We are almost always on the same page, and it is, again, we are very fortunate.
Another
that
couple
is the
that
case.
we, another collaborative couple that, we'll be like, yeah. We've got a question here from Thomas. Can you say "in a world" in your best movie trailer announcer voice?
Yeah, give me a second. Hold on, I'll do you one better. I don't know what's the fun name of a movie. What's Beyond Quest? We can use that, right?
Yeah.
So something like in a world where podcasts reign supreme, two narrators, Alex and Marissa, join forces this summer, starring Tom Cruise and Marissa Parness, because she's a great actor in her own right. You can set eyes on Beyond Quests, rated R.
Love it. Yeah.
Tom Cruise
That's why we
definitely
put you guys
funny.
in charge of the entertainment at cons. Yeah.
Tom Cruise, no brainer playing Alex Perone.
Yes.
Love it. Okay. So book 2 is already out, right? Is that, or it's coming? Yeah, book 2 is out.
Yeah.
Book 3 is in the works. When is book 3?
We'll say this year. I usually everything sounds like a question. I sound like Ron Burgundy. It's like everything goes on with an end. Later this year, So we've had the talk. We know where the story is going. It's just, I suppose, between working on a couple of different projects, and just physically being able, I put my hand on my heart and say, like, in the last year, my energy levels and things have gone down a lot. So between reading and writing, some things have slowed a little bit, but we're still always working away. We're still always, writing something and new ideas and different things, as authors do. But we do have it on the, if I want to say, on the books for this year. We had a chat there with Robin recently, and we're looking at where the story is going. So I'm going to be optimistic. I'm hoping I'm being realistic and saying yes, this year. Like, he wants it complete, as he doesn't want it just left hanging on book 2. Yeah.
Lit RPG readers also just appreciate what if you can. Well, Lit RPG Con might be too soon, but I am actually going to make achievement unlocked complete series 2026.
Oh, that's awesome.
For authors that got to the completion of a series, I think we're gonna make it an annual thing. So
that's fantastic. Yeah.
Collect your ribbons, because we need more series to have the second bookend, right?
Yeah.
So talking about cons, so Rachel, one of the reasons you're on here is because I realized that you were going to Jordan Con, right? And it was like, let's talk. But what's everybody's con schedule for this next year?
So I'll be at Jordan Con, and we'll get to hang out. After that, end of May, I'll be at Comicapalooza in Houston, Texas. So there'll be a few lit RPG authors there. So J. David Baxter, Ryan Maxwell, Matt Dinneman's going, Jay Drude, and Randall Tatum. Those are the ones that I know. Okay. And then
is there lit RPG panels and stuff at?
There's a couple of panels, and so we'll all be on those.
Nice.
And then after that, Lit RPG Con will be the next big one.
Yeah. Awesome. How about you, Aoife?
I've slowed things down. I've been traveling a lot to cons the last couple of years. So this year I won't be at Jordan Con. Had a great time the last 2 years. But I will be there in spirit. So I will be at Lit RPG Con.
Awesome.
And that's it pretty much for me, so if I win the lotto, maybe we'll jet set a bit more. But at the moment, that's for me. Yeah.
No, I mean that's awesome. If you're gonna pick a con, I mean, and you've got
Yes.
like quite a flight to get over here too for some of these. So yeah.
Yes, and I try to get direct flights. I do not have a good record of commutes. You know, if I have to lay over anywhere, the amount of times I've had some mad journeys trying to either flights being cancelled or running through airports and things. I can't. Direct
You're
flight.
like, I'm not doing it anymore.
So
Yeah.
if I've got a direct flight there to Denver, so happy days.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How about Alex? How about you? I don't know if you do the convention circuit or what are some events that you might have coming up?
So I haven't really done them. However, this year I'm really going to try to get to Lit RPG Con. One of my best friends went last year for the inaugural one and just raved about it and loved it. And I couldn't make last year happen. This year, I'm working on it from now. Let's put it that way. Our schedules are really, really pretty packed, actually, already into July. And so it's not impossible. It's not even necessarily unlikely at this point for me. It's just a matter of logistics at this point, seeing if we can make it work, if we can make it work with work, etc. I would love to go, especially that one. It's only the last year was its first year, right? Yeah. So like, I was also a little bit like, I don't do these a lot. So I wanted to hear how the first one went, how people liked it. And as soon I heard from everybody that it was awesome. So I thought, okay, if I can, I'm going to make that one happen. Yeah. Try to anyway.
Definitely worth it. And it looks, I think that the con itself it's getting bigger, but they've got more space, more panels, more guests. It's going to be hopefully the same sort of vibe, just a little bit bigger. Yeah. Do you guys? So, Aoife and Rachel, you were at JordanCon last year. So part of we're doing this like road to JordanCon. Like, what do you attendees? What can they look forward to? Like, what's a favorite moment that you guys had from a previous con?
Well, so we both last year it was extra special because we got to witness and be a part of Stephen Landry, author. He engaged to his girlfriend Tori at the time. There, they're married now, so congratulations to them.
Yes.
But that was like a really kind of touching moment to actually be a part of that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, we were talking about reminiscing back, like, and that was definitely like such a special moment, and to be included in that and the photos and everything. It was just so romantic. It was lovely.
Yeah.
I think also besides that, then there was it, like you're talking about, like it's just the fun, everybody together after all the panels and everything. Like there's karaoke. I can't sing, but didn't stop me getting up. Jessica Treat was doing Pink Pony Club, and I'm like, let's go to that.
Jessica is the friend of mine who went last year. She's like one of my best friends.
Fantastic. All the singers, I don't know, but anyway, I definitely got into the spirit of it, with spirits as well. So that gets me up karaokeing. If I don't have that, I wouldn't be there, but up singing. But also the panels. There was one panel in particular that was the year before, wasn't it?
It might have been the year before, yeah.
And Tammy moderated it. It was on like isekai, but we were doing it kind of like telling the story as it went. And it basically became a story, Average Joe, which was there was, do you know Joe Effinger at all?
Yeah.
So he was in the audience, and he was like our first Patreon. And so we were like, well, we're naming the character for you.
Love it.
And then everybody else who was on the panel, what was it? Just got in on the whole thing. Then we had, what was it?
There were some song lyrics. So like Justin Thomas James and Jack Fields, they helped. Well, Justin, he was actually singing the lyrics as we kind of went line by line. Even Sean Dunning helped come up with some of them.
Sean as well. Yeah. That was good fun.
That sounds magic. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, is Average Joe anywhere? Is there recordings of this, or
I
just
think so,
lives on in memory?
There was.
Geneva, she posted some. So I don't know, maybe check out Facebook.
Yeah, all right. We'll have to track this down and get it posted to the socials or something. Yeah. All right, so let's end. We're kind of at time here. I do want you guys to do like your read offs of like what's next from like book launches and stuff. But I do want like just a little bit of lore from both Alex, you and Marissa, and also Aoife and Rachel, like origin story of the partnership that you guys have with each other. Like a quick, I don't know who wants to go first, but like how did you guys meet, or how did you decide like, oh, you are a human I want to write a book with, or narrate a book with?
So I can tell you that back in 2008, Marissa and I did a musical play together, and that's where we first met. And then we were friends ever since. And I was in the city, she was in the city. I left the city for about 8 years and was miserable. Told her, of course, hey, I'm coming back. And she's like, well, if you do, I might have a lead on a job. And we just sort of fell backwards into narrating together. She had mentioned my name because she knew that I could do like funny voices.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started, and it never really had to look back, at least not yet anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Rachel, Aoife, how about the two of you? How did you meet?
So I guess we were both in a writing class together.
Yeah.
And then Kindle Vella was launching at the time, and so I asked if anybody wanted to co-author to try it out. And Aoife being overseas, she wasn't able to actually post on there, so I was able to do the posting aspect of it. And whenever we got to talking, it turned out like we had a lot in common. So we both actually loved like Keanu Reeves and then like horror genre and flicks. So it was just it just worked out from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of started our short story there.
Love it. Thanks, friendship. Thanks to Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Well, what is next for everybody? And so let's just do a two-part. Like, what's next from a release schedule perspective, and then also what's the best place to find you, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So, Rachel, let's start with you. What's next on the release schedule for you?
So I'll give off one of them. So I guess we've been editing another cultivation kind of light lit RPG story. So we're hoping to get that to release before Jordan Con. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's basically the character's name's Michael. He is honored by his father's discipline to immortality, but he's getting some resistance from his grandfather who wants him to be a warlord. So there's some conflict there.
Dun, dun, dun. That's the type, like warlord or immortal is the type of conversation. That's a lit RPG book, 100%. Yeah. All right. And what's the best place to find you on socials?
So Aoife and I, we actually share our socials. You can find us pretty much anywhere. Cooper Y is where we have it kind of more consistent. So Facebook. Website is unchartedbloodlines.com, and then you can find out more details there with everything.
Sweet. Awesome. Aoife, did Rachel leave anything for you to talk about here? Do you have any release that you want to talk about?
So I'm very excited to mention A Titan's Core because that hopefully will be released before Lit RPG Con,
Awesome.
At least book one, and we're waiting covers and audio at the moment, and that's through Legion Publishers, and we're so grateful to have that opportunity. They've been fantastic. We again, that kind of like went to, like from the time we started writing that was kind of a Royal Road prompt. What was it? Immortality is a myth. So that's going back like 2 years ago when we first thought of that story. So to actually see that come to fruition. And we also have another story that's more kind of necromancer based, and that's where kind of editing book one after that being on hiatus for quite some time as well, because we were editing A Titan's Core, we were just like, oh. So
you're like two authors, 3 times the amount of output, right? That's how that works.
So
Titan's Core, was that, you said that was a book 4? Was that a book 1 or
new release? Book 1.
So brand new. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a trilogy. It's completed, but it'll be kind of a rapid release, hopefully over the around the time of Literature and
So that
beyond.
completed series
I will be
for
looking for that.
2027. Yeah.
With my
Noted.
little badges.
Yeah,
more.
maybe we'll do like ribbons with medals once you hit 5 or something.
Right.
We'll have to figure this out. Yeah. All right, Alex, how about yourself? What's coming out for you here soon?
I'm not sure. The releases are really not up to us usually,
Yeah.
but I do believe that Monster Tamer Academy might be out already. 4, that is Monster Tamer Academy 4.
Mhm.
We've recorded it, and if it's not out yet, it's got to be coming out very soon. But I think it might have released, but that's up to the publishers usually.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can find me on my website, alexperone.com. I'm on Instagram as well, and I don't post a lot about narration stuff, but I do post about it occasionally. It's just I post about lots of things. I post about artwork and my acting outside of the booth, all that sort of stuff.
Awesome. We'll have to go follow you over there. My next show is going to be with Alora Lee on the 3rd of March. I think that's Tuesday. Time is meaningless at that point. Yeah, it's Tuesday. So we're going to be talking about Otherworldly, which if you saw the TikTok, I did read it in one night, which was kind of wild. It's been a while. It's been a while. So come talk to Laura and I. And the March schedule is getting posted today, tomorrow on Facebook and TikTok. It's huge because we're trying to get in between Pop-Up and I. We're trying to interview all of the JordanCon authors before JordanCon, so you can get kind of your scoop from them. So March is wild, and and also Stumbling Up's coming out on March 13th. So yeah, super excited about that too. So
fantastic.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. Fantastic conversation. Can't wait to talk to you all again and see you at cons and everything. Everybody have a good rest of your Saturday and your weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks, folks.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a million.
Bye.